Do you want me to go back?
Guys, what we've got here is a big issue that makes a lot of husbands and wives happy when sorted out. It's called storage. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Morning, Mark.
How are you, buddy?
Very, very well. Oh, I've just lost my screen, but I'm good. How are you?
Mate, episode 404, storage units. We're talking about, with James Lampley and Mark Novak, we're talking about you know what, it's exploded, James, yeah? Like, where was storage 10, 20, 30 years ago? Nobody cared. So what's changed?
It was in your backyard back then, wasn't it, I think? And yeah, now there's a commercial demand for it of all sorts of shapes and sizes, and people are able to make small investments rather than purchasing $1 million property or a $500,000 property. You can buy something for $100,000 or so, or a couple $100,000. So it's a far easier way to get into the investment cycle as well, I think. So there's a whole range of people moving into the market.
And you know what? It probably saves also, guys, it saves you from upgrading your home. Sometimes a husband may have a growing business, or a wife may have a growing business from home. There's shit all over the house, down the backyard, sprawling outside the garage, down the side of the house. Husband's getting disheveled, or wife is getting disheveled. We need a bigger home. No, you don't. You can buy or rent some storage.
Yeah. It's funny, half the people that come through, they have that exact line comes out of their mouth. It's about the other half being unhappy. That's probably 50% of the people, plus tradies.
That's it. So what are the options these days? Because if you don't know and you didn't ask, how would you nut this out? So you've got, for instance, what have we got that we can offer to the Northern Beaches as a solution for this? You've pretty much got Storage King. You've got Kennard's Storage. These are sort of corporatized models where they're generally a rent-only model, yeah?
Yeah. We've got storage options all across the board, Mark, haven't we, at this stage? It's I think it comes down to speaking to your real estate agent again, but it's about what you need. We've got things you can buy that you can lease of all different shapes and sizes, starting from 2 meters squared up to 100 plus. So it's funny, all these conversations we have, it comes back to, you think you just need to have a good relationship with your real estate agent to be in the loop about all of these little things that we have available.
Yeah. Size, I know I just picked up on what you said. Size confuses people.
Yep. What metrics do we typically use with storage, Mark?
Yeah, so if you are seeking it, how much do you need, and how do you actually verbalize that? James, you've been doing a lot of it lately. What's the typical? What are your sizes? How do you explain it?
I think people get, not that they don't understand it, but they get confused between your meter squared and your cubic meter when talking about the sizes. If you tell them you've got 13 cubic of storage, they're not going to have a clue what kind of size to reference that from. So keeping it basic with your general meter squared, 2 times 1 plus your height, and you can work out the cubic afterwards, but just keep it nice and simple, I think.
Okay, so what would be regarded as a big storage unit in Storage World?
In Storage World, you'd probably say like a just about a garage size and above would be a big one.
Yep.
Because typically they're probably a couple to maybe 10, 15 meters squared. That's probably on the slightly larger side as well. They've got volume of average size lockers. So
a garage, for instance, guys and girls, is 12 to 13 meters squared. So to get your car in and comfortably open your doors, it's probably more like 13 meters squared. So if you're looking for storage, that's a big unit. But then when you add, if you're a 2 meter high garage, you're going in a little low. If you're a 3 meter high garage, you're going to meter above your head. If you're a 5 meter high garage, you are a whopper, and you can have shelves and storing and racking.
Yeah. And do you think people underestimate the power of that additional height?
Well, if you're prepared for it, it's wonderful. Like if you've got the shelving system, or if you got the ladder and the this and the that, or the mezzanine, you're actually good. But if you're not prepared for it, it's a little bit useless, that height, if you got 5 or 6 meters. But generally, business people are, will invest in ladders, or even like machinery to go up and down and grab and pick and pack sort of thing, if you're going bigger. So what about when you go smaller though, mate? We've got half size or a third of that. So sometimes you just want to get bikes, surfboards, and just jam it in and lock it up and leave it forever. What are you paying? What are you paying for these sort of things as well, rent wise? Because you do pay double or triple when you're going through Kennards, but if you can get a bargain on storage, what are you paying?
$7 or $8 per square meter. I suppose something along those lines. I think it'd be nice and easy to keep it clean at $10 per square meter. But again, storage is such a competitive little industry here on the beaches and everywhere else. But yeah, I'd say 5 meters squared for $30, something around those sorts of lines. So, it's cheap and cheerful. As long as it's convenient and the access is good, then it's a good little stopgap, whether it be short or long. Now,
just to go slow, not to treat everyone as simpletons, but I reckon about 80% of people find that hard, what you just said. So, so to give you an idea, guys, 2 meters long by 2 meters wide, you got 4 square meters. That rate you mentioned was how much?
$8 per square meter.
8 times 4. So that at 8 times 4, lock up. So a 4 by 4 square meter, which is 2 meters by 2 meters, say 3 meters high, you're spending about $20-$25. And that can be enough for someone who's living in a unit. That can be a damn huge amount of storage area that you need. And it could also mean you don't have to move out of your unit for something else because you've got all that there. And bear in mind, even if you have a unit with a garage, you still got to get your car into the garage. There's still not a lot of area left. Now, you can actually use your super to buy a storage area if it's for your business, and you can buy a storage unit. How much do they sell for?
We've sold storage units from $120K this year or within the last 12 months, but typically $150K-ish plus, just with the exception of whether you have a tenant in there or if it's vacant, if you have to consider GST as well or not. But $150K isn't a lot of money to invest into real estate these days, is it?
No. A question I've got is, does it go up? And I know you're going to bring a graph up on that shortly. But bear in mind, guys, if you're spending $150,000 on a storage unit, it's generally almost as big as 2 cars. So it's about 25 meters squared, 28 meters squared. So it's as big as 2 cars, and it's pretty much as high as 2 cars as well. So that's a really nice, generous size storage unit. You're spending $150K. The problem people have is, will that go down in value, that $150K, or will it go up? What we've done is we've sold a whole bunch of storage units in Brookvale, but here's the kicker. They've been resold as well, and this is the capital growth people have achieved when resold. Can you make that bigger, buddy? I think Control Plus will make it bigger.
Yep. Is that better?
Yeah. One more. And again. Okay, great. So what have we got here? We've got storage units in Brookvale, and you can see these guys some of them have made over a 1 year period 15% capital growth. So they bought it for $150. It's sold for 20 odd grand, 30 odd grand more. You can see some people have made 55% capital growth, and you can see the different sizes there. So our point is that if you are buying storage, these are some of the resales of storage units that we've had. You will make, generally, if you're buying at the right time and selling at the right time, you will make capital growth. on
Yeah.
storage unit as well. So just to summarise and finish off on what we're talking about, we're talking about storage units. We're talking about buying them or renting them. We've spoken about sizes. They vary from, 4 square metre up to 25 square metre or 80 metres squared. The rental rate is about $8
$8 per square metre in any
per
given
square metre.
Yeah.
And the sales rate, I think, sits at about $5,500 per square metre. So what if it's 100? If it's a 10 metre squared storage unit, times it by 5,500, it's 55 grand. And they do make money, and they do make your wife or husband happy if you've made the house messy.
Which is the more important, the first or the latter?
Got to answer that one. Anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, good little commercial investment. Again, it's. Would you call it a safe gamble, a safe bet? Should I say, Mark?
I would. Look, it's still real estate. I love it. I bloody love it, and I think there's always a market for it.
Yeah, bank on it.
But that's a wrap up. Thank you, Mr. Lamplow. Everyone, hopefully helped you a little bit today talking about storage and getting you to understand them. Anything else you want to add, bud?
If anyone on the Northern Beaches needs storage, give us a shout because we've got all sorts of options.
You're a legend. Love you, bud. Take care. See you around. Cheers. Bye.